is a digital cellular technology which is used to transmit voice and data over a long distance wirelessly. This emerged from cell-based mobile radio system, which is cellular system in 1970s, early 1970s, and there is a common group established in 1982, which given the name GSM to this service, which is a circuit switched system. As we know, in circuit switched system, there is a need to set up a physical connection between transmitter and receiver, right? That same type of service is GSM, which is called as a circuit switched system, in which there should be a connection set up between the transmitter and receiver. That is circuit switched system, and it's approximately owned a 70% digital cellular subscriber. It uses narrowband time division multiple access technique for transmitting signals. Narrowband time division multiple access means whatever the bandwidth is given to the service provider, it is subdivided into sub-bands called as a narrowband, and there is a frequency hopping between frequencies, right? In different time slots. So suppose a mobile subscriber is transmitting its data at F1 frequency from 0 to T1 time duration, then it will transfer the data at frequency F2 from T1 to T2. Means whatever the bandwidth is given to the service provider, it is divided into sub-bands, which is FDMA, and then each band is given to subscriber for a particular time duration, that will be TDMA. So basically we can say that GSM is a combination of TDMA and FDMA, or it is written as narrow band time division multiple access technique. The data rate which is there in from 2G to 4G, that is 64 kbps to 120 Mbps data rate. GSM digitize your voice, then compress it and send it through the wireless channel. Why GSM is used? Because it improved spectrum efficiency. How spectrum efficiency is improved? By using frequency reuse phenomena. We have already know about frequency reuse. So in GSM, spectrum efficiency is improved by using frequency reuse phenomena, and international roaming is supported by GSM, means it is not required that every time mobile subscriber should be in his own region. Wherever you go, the network follows. That will be the international roaming, and mobile sets are low cost, and base stations are also in low cost available nowadays. It supports high quality of transmission, and number of services are compatible with GSM, and there is a scope to start the new services also in GSM, right? GSM actually offers three different type of services. One is bearer services, telemetry services, and supplementary services. So this is the block diagram which describes the difference between these type of services. Actually, the services can be broadly classified into bearer and telemetry services. Telemetry services are the services which is assist from terminal equipment TE, and the services which are assist to the access point, that will be called as a bearer services, right? So we can see in this diagram that there is a connection between the link source to destination network and terminal equipment to here terminal equipment and mobile telephone system. So basically bearer services are those services which travels from access point to access point, and tele services is that which is from your terminal equipment to terminal equipment, right? This is the difference. Suppose we are taking the data from base station. So the services which are support, which are from base station to base station, that will be called as the bearer services, and the services which transfer the data from your mobile to destination mobile, that will be called as your tele services, right? So basically data is accessed by the access point. So bearer services supports the transmission of the data, and telemetry services support the voice and the SMS service, which is the data depends upon the user, depends upon whatever you write in your mobile system, that will be transferred via base station to the terminal equipment. So the data which transferred from user to user, the data which transferred from user to user, mobile station to mobile station, that will be called as a tele services. And data which is transferred from access point of transmitter to access point of receiver will be called as a bearer services, right? And supplementary services are the different services which are there in with bearer and tele services. So basically, what are bearer services? Telecommunication service to transfer data between access points, and these access points basically provide the services which are the services governed by OSI layer 1 to 3, right? So as we know, physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session, presentation and application, etc. So whenever there is a access point from which you can access your data, at that time in that access point only the services offered by that access point will be the services similar to the physical layer, data link layer and network layer. So basically bearer services provide you the connection to connect to different networks, right? What three, 1 to 3 layers are what? Physical, data link and network, right? So when you know your device connected to which particular network, you can transfer your data from access point of that network to access point of transmitting network. So basically, what type of services are supported by bearer services? The services which are governed by physical layer, data link layer and network layer. So we know the services of these three layers. So these are the access points, right? These are the access points. For example, as in our lab, number of computer systems are connected to one Wi-Fi modem, and that will be Wi-Fi modem will be called as your access point, right? So the access point give you the services of physical layer, data link layer and network layer, means it behaves like a router. So the services which are supported by router to router of transmitting and receiving antenna, that will be called as a bearer services, right? And what are the different data rates which is supported? That is, if it is a circuit switched network, this is GSM is a circuit switched network. So if it is a circuit switched network, then in synchronous it will transfer either 2.4, 4.8 or 9.6 kbps speed. In asynchronous, it is 300 to 1200 bits per second. We know about what is synchronous and asynchronous services. Suppose if our ISDN service is there, which is packet switched, then synchronous may the speed will be 2.4, similar to the switched network, and in asynchronous it is 300 to 9600 bits per second. So basically, when we connect our system to some Wi-Fi access point, then the data the speed on which data will be transmitted from one modem to another modem, it will depend upon that which type of service is supported by bearer services. Either it is circuit switched or it is packet switched. Then in circuit and packet switch, it is synchronous type or it is asynchronous type. Depending upon that, different type of data rates are there, right? And tele services is, that is, it enable the voice communication via mobile phones, right? It is from mobile station to mobile station. So whatever will be your security measurements or whatever will be your cellular functions, that all are supported by the cellular tele services. So in general, emergency number or multi user calling, like all mobile telephony, it is all called under the category of teleservices, right? And non-voice teleservices are as fax, group 3 fax, voicemail box, SMS, electronic mail, internet services. These are all called as the non-voice teleservices. Supplementary services cannot be offered alone. It is always offered with some ISDN services, and these type of services may different from the for different service providers, different countries and protocol versions. This will be the difference. This can be the difference. Tele services and bearer services will be the same all over the world, but supplementary services can be different from country to country. It is the identification of the caller number, or automatic callback, or suppression of number forwarding, conferencing with up to 7 participants, and etc. So these are the number of supplementary services which are different from different service providers. Right? The next one is GSM architecture. Right? GSM has several functional entities whose functions and interfaces are defined, and it can be divided into following broader parts. A GSM architecture can be divided into two parts basically. One is component and second one is your subsystem. Components are mobile station, base station, mobile switching center, and location register. In previous unit, we know about base station, MSC, mobile station, etc. Right? BSC and BTS are the part of base station. BSC and BTS are the part of base station. And we can divide GSM architecture into three different subsystems: RSS, NSS, and OSS. RSS is radio subsystem, NSS network subsystem, and OSS is operation subsystem. RSS covers all radio aspects, NSS call forwarding, handover, switching, etc. and OSS management of different type of networks. Right? So first we move to the RSS radio system. RSS radio system means whatever data is transferred in RF communication, means the first will be my mobile station and base station subsystem. So initially when I make a call, I will transfer the data to the base station, then base station will transfer the data to the MSC, and MSC will check different type of services, different type of entities there, and then it forward the call to other MSC or PSTN network, right? If I make a call, then firstly I will transfer the data to base station, then base station will transfer the data to its corresponding MSC, and then that MSC will transfer its data to this MSC of receiver or to the public switching telephone network. In general, the first part of the RSS release is your mobile station and BSS, because they are connected to each other via O interface, AA interface. They are connected to each other. Basically, we will firstly go to the diagram. This one. Okay? This is system architecture first part. There are three subsystems: radio subsystem, network subsystem, and operation subsystem. Okay? There is a connection between RSS and NSS. There is a connection between RSS and NSS. How? MSC is the part of NSS, network subsystem, and MSC is the part of a network subsystem, and BSC is the part of your radio subsystem. Clear? Base station comprises of two parts, BTS and BSC. Base station controller and base transceivers. Base transceivers are your transmitting and receiving antennas, and these are your controlling services. Clear? So this is our base station. Here, this circular part is a completely, it is a base station. Base station means your that tower. दिस इज द टावर, ठीक है। एंड ये दिस इज यूजर, मोबाइल स्टेशन। मोबाइल स्टेशन एंड बेस स्टेशन आर कनेक्टेड टू ईच अदर वायरलेसली, clear, via a radio interface, and this interface is called as U interface, UM interface, right? Mobile connection, it is, that's why it is UM. So there is a connection between your mobile and base station. It is RF transmission, and that is called as, they are connected to each other via U interface, right? Then in a tower, minimum 1 or maximum 16 BTS can be there, right? What is the minimum and maximum number of BTS? In one BSC, one BSC can connect it to 1 to 16 transmitting receiving antennas, and these antennas are connected to your controller, which is there in tower via ABIS interface. ABIS interface is a 16 kbps interface, means they are transmitting their data to each other at the maximum speed of 16 kbps, right? Then this BSC is connected to the MSC via A interface, via A interface. A interface transfer the data at the data speed of 16 kbps, 64 kbps. Clear? So this is our radio system. What are the parts of radio system? The parts of radio systems are mobile station, BSC, mobile station and BSC. मतलब base station. Base station comprises of BTS and BSC. Base station comprises of BTS and BSC. So mobile station is connected to our base station via U interface, that is the radio interface, and BTS and BSC is connected to each other via ABIS interface, and then BTS and BSC and MSC are connected via A interface, right? So this is the first subsystem of GSM architecture, which is RSS, radio subsystem, which is radio subsystem, right? So we will go back again to the theory that RSS, radio subsystem, comprises all the radio specific entities, mobile station and base station. Then connection between RSS and NSS via A interface, and connection between RSS and OSS via O interface. A interface is what? BSC and MSC are connected via A interface, and that A interface is a circuit switched PCM, pulse code modulation, modulated data is transferred, and 30 data of 30 users can be multiplexed together to transfer at a time from A to O, from RSS to NSS, that is it carrying up to 64 kbps connection, and if we multiply this, then the value will be 2.048 Mbps. What is A interface? A interface connect your BSC and MSC, right? So how many number of BSCs can be connected to one MSC? So we can use 30 connections at that time, and every connection has a data rate of 64 kbps. So overall data which will be there in MSC will be of 2.048 Mbps. O interface connect your RSS to the OSS, and it is based on X.25 signaling scheme. GSM, the first part is mobile station, the mobile system which we have. This mobile station is a physical equipment which consists of one radio transceiver, one display, number of digital signal processors, and SIM, which is subscriber identity module. This mobile station provides an air interface between user and tower, between user and base station, right? Mobile station supports voice teleservices, data bearer services, and number of supplementary services also. Every mobile station can be identified by a unique number, and that number is called as IMEI number, right? When you buy a mobile, then there is a 16-digit number written on the box of the mobile, which is called as a IMEI number, which is unique for every mobile. It is International Mobile Equipment Identity, right? SIM. SIM is a card subscriber identity module which we have to use in GSM to initiate our services, right? And this SIM tells about the location of the terminal and it uses that particular terminal. When we use GSM services, firstly I had to insert one SIM card into our GSM cellular phone to send or receive calls or receive other subscribed services. SIM card contains many identifiers and tables such as what is the card type, 3G, 4G, etc. Serial number of the SIM, and there is one code which is used to lock our mobile system, which is personal identity number PIN. And if you put many times wrong PIN, then your mobile will be blocked, and you have to unblock your mobile by using a number which is PUK, authentication key, PUK pin unblocking key, right? PUK is a pin unblocking key, where pin is your personal identity number, which is the security. And if you use many times a wrong pin, then your SIM will be blocked, and you have to call to your service provider to know your PUK number. And when you insert your PUK number, then your SIM will be unblocked. And mobile station stores your dynamic information, means which are changes as per the time, such as your location, etc. So these are the duty of your SIM card, right? It is a terminal. You have to use it to initiate your services. Then what are the functions of mobile station? We know the functions, that is receptor for SMS message, to transfer your voice and data. It is used to access the various type of services, and these services, the services, either it will be transferred their data via GPRS or high speed circuit switched data or X.25 packet switching data. So basically GSM mobile supports your GPRS, your packet switching, as well as your circuit switching data also, right? In every type of service, there is a different data rate which is supported for that service. As in X.25, when we are dialing a number, it is X.25 service, and this dial-up connection will happen at the speed of 9.6 kbps. Whenever we use IP-based data transfer method, then the data speed which is supported by the mobile system will be 115 kbps, and it is also supported different type of circuit switching data rate at the speed of 64 kbps. Circuit switching means whenever there is a requirement to transfer the data, before the transmission of data, a circuit is set up, a physical connection is set up between transmitter and receiver. That will be called as circuit switching network. And when there is no need to set up your connection, if you want to transfer your data, just start the transmission of data. That will be called as a packet switching network, right? So if there is a need to establish a link between transmitter and receiver, then it will be your circuit switching network. If not, then it is a packet switching network. So it supports all type of services, mobile station. Then the second part is base station, BSS subsystem. There are two parts, one is BTS and another one is BSC. BTS is your base transceiver which transmit or receive the data of mobile and BSC, and it communicates across specified interface which is ABIS interface. ABIS interface is 16 or 64 kbps connections, right? That is the data typically in 3G and 4G. ABIS interface consists of either 16 kbps connection or 64 kbps connection. One BSS can contain one or more base stations, and there is a separate high-speed T1 or E1 line which connect your base station to mobile MSC. BTS is correspond to transceiver and antennas. It is usually placed at the center of the cell. The transmitting power defines the size of a cell, and minimum 1 and maximum 16 transceivers can be supported by one BSC. The function of BTS is what? That transceiver functions are encoding, encrypting, multiplexing, modulating, and feeding the RF signal to the antenna. Means whatever the data is there at the BSC, it will be transferred to mobile station. But before the transmission of data, we can encode, encrypt, or mix the data of number of users, that is multiplexing, or modulate our data, whatever is the requirement of your communication technique, and then feed that data into the antenna to convert your data into RF signal. So this is the function of BTS, and BTS is synchronized in time and frequency both with mobile station. It transmits the voice either in full rate service or in half rate service, means that is half duplex or full duplex communication system. Both are supported by BTS. As when we are transmitting our data, at that time we will encode, encrypt, multiplex, and modulate our data. At the side of the receiver, we have to do the reverse of these functions, that is decoding, decrypting, and equalizing the received signal. Different type of timing synchronization is done by timing advances, and there are number of channel measurements can be done by the BTS. Base station controller manages one or more BTS. It handles the radio channel setup, frequency hopping, and handoff. We know frequency hopping and handoff also. So to do frequency hopping and handoff is the function of BSC. BSC provides a connection between mobile station and MSC, and BSC also translates 13 kbps voice channel to the 64 kbps public switching telephone network. So as we know that mobile station work on the 34 kbps voice channel, and our PSTN network work on the 64 kbps, then to convert it into the 13 to 64 over the standard public switch telephone network or ISDN is also the work of base station controller. Although it also assign and release the channel or the time slot to the mobile station, and BSC also had inter-cell handover. It also controls the power of signal which is transmitted, and it also allocates the time slot. Additional function, control of frequency hopping, then reallocation, synchronization, power management, and providing an interface. So basically, I am going to summarize it here that in GSM architecture, the first subsystem is a radio subsystem, mobile station, BTS and BSC. Mobile station and BTS is connected via U interface, BTS, BSc via ABC interface, and BSc, MSc via A interface. And this BTS, whatever data is the output at the BSc, that is encrypted, encoded, multiplexed, and modulated, right, via BTS, and then it is transferred, then it is given to the antenna, and antenna to the feeder of the antenna, and it will convert your electrical signal into electromagnetic wave, which is transferred from BTS antenna to the mobile station, right? And BSc and MSc are connected via one A interface, and there is a ABS interface which gives you the data rate of 16 kbps, and here is the data of 64 kbps. So multiplexing of data so that T1 link can be made which works on 64 kbps is also done by BSc, right? So what is the duty of BSc? To synchronize the data in time and frequency between BTS and BSc and BSc and MSc. BTS modulate, encrypt, encode your data and give to the feeder of the antenna, and it will convert into the electromagnetic wave which is transmitted via radio interface to the mobile station, right? So this is our RSS mobile switching center, radio system